Hello there, everybody. Welcome back. And with another year coming to a close, I have my two yearly videos that I put out at the end of the year where I discuss basically the year as a whole in terms of, entertainment. So right here, we're going to have the movies I've seen worst to first for 2024. And then my next video, which should be out within a day or two, will be the top 10 entertainment moments of 2024. At number 8, we have Reagan. What you'll notice here is however I do my rankings, you'll see the number would be blue, which means I like the movie, yellow, which I think it's like average, good and bad, and then red I think is trash. And all these, you'll notice they're all blue, and that's because I liked, all the films I went to see this year. I wanted to go see it because, it was like a bonding experience with my dad because this is one of his favorite presidents, and it was kind of like a father-son type of thing. And so I went in, and already I was probably going to be biased with how I thought about the film since, I was doing it with my dad and we were having a fun time. But overall, the film was really well done in terms of, I believe it's like a really small indie type company. So in terms of some of the effects, because there's a lot of CGI and, special effects, CGI and stuff in the film, that's pulled off really well. Dennis Quaid, I think, does a phenomenal job playing Ronald Reagan, like down to some of his mannerisms and stuff. And it really gives more insight onto who the man was besides just him being the president. It really goes into like his childhood and stuff, and just little stuff there that really gives more meaning to this iconic president. So yeah, it was a really solid film all around. At number 7, and this is gonna be a controversial one, and just hear me out before everyone freaks out. Am I racist? Now, I was really debating on even putting this on the list because, for one, if you guys follow my channel, I didn't do a review of this movie. And I didn't even really plan to see this movie because of, for one, who the person making the movie is and the company making it is really controversial people, and, I disagree with a lot of what they do and stuff. So, upon seeing that, what made me, in the end, go see it was... for one, of course, you had a curiosity factor, and I kept seeing ads about it, and it just made me be like, why is everyone talking about this? But besides that, I also had some family members who wanted to go see it, and at that point, I was desperate to see movies because I think I saw 3 at that point, or 4, and so I was like, well, screw it. I mean, this is a movie in a theater. Let's go watch it. But yeah, the film is, if you go into it, not really trying to take it, like, I guess you could take it sort of seriously, but it's being portrayed as like a mockumentary because a lot of people have compared it as the conservative Sacha Baron Cohen, Borat. It's kind of doing that, but instead of what Borat does, where he pokes fun at normal Americans and does all of his goofy shenanigans as a character, you have this Matt Walsh dude who is pretending to be a DEI consultant, which, if you don't know what that means, it means diversity, equity, and inclusion, which really started popping up in the last couple of years, where it's a thing that's put in industries to basically make sure you have more inclusion, more diversity in your industries without merit or capabilities for the job. Just make sure you have more different groups of people. Like if a company's more predominantly white, and they don't want that, so they want to be more inclusive, so they'll hire different racial groups to kind of diversify it, even if those racial groups aren't really qualified. And I think the film does do some, like, it does hit some good points and expose, and a lot of, at the end of the day, the people who are saying they're doing this because they care about racial justice and all, a lot of it, which they really explicitly show in the film, is how much money these people are making in a lot of these events where they're talking to white people about their inner racism and just talking down to them. It looks like it's usually minority women from this film, at least, and even rich white women who are getting tens of thousands of dollars in some cases just to preach down to other people about why they're evil and wrong. And it really exposes this, and I think like that could be kind of icky and just disgusting. So I do think the film was tackling some interesting topics, but again, there's a lot of controversy because of who makes it and the team behind it. So, and some of the tactics they use about lying and tricking these people. But at the end of the day, some of the stuff in this film is really undeniable and really shocking. So It was definitely an interesting film, definitely controversial for sure, but that was part of the reason why I didn't want to do a full-on review of it, because I saw a lot of people getting trashed on just for reviewing it, and that seemed too scary. But in the end, I kind of regret it, because part of my hobby here on my channel is to do reviews of films, so I really do regret it, so I wanted to at least give it its flowers and put it on the list here. But yeah, number 6 is Gladiator 2. Now, this was the sequel to the beloved classic iconic film of Gladiator, which I believe won Best Picture at the Oscars when it came out. It was a huge success financially with critics, audiences. So of course, with all the hype and buzz, this film wasn't going to live up to that. But being as someone who I believe, never really saw the original, I went in just wanting to have a good time, and I had a great time with this film. I saw it also with my dad. There is some great action set pieces. The story was really captivating and enthralling. The designs, the costume designs, and just overall film was really well put together. And I really did like some of the choices that they made, especially near the end with the story. So it was great for me. At number 5, we have Inside Out 2. Now, I know this is a sequel to a beloved animated film by Disney and Pixar, but it really came out of nowhere and blew up the box office. And I think there's some good reasons to that, because this film was not just like another cash cow, kind of like how Lightyear was. They actually had a message and story to talk about, and of course the main focus was that of the character anxiety. So I really did appreciate what they did with that. Again, the animation was flawless, voice performances were great, and all around this film was like stellar to watch. And it was like definitely memed about a lot. I saw a lot of memes about it, and it was a really well made little film. At number 4, we have Twisters. Now, this was a film I was really looking forward to, mainly because of I never saw the original, so I never got that thrill experience of seeing that type of film on the big screen that I can remember. But seeing the cast, especially Glen Powell, who I have adored ever since seeing Top Gun Maverick, and so seeing him and lead this film was great. But also what I really loved about it was, of course, it just seemed like a film that had like really great action, yes, had a solid story about these storm chasers trying to see if they can prevent the storms and all. But a thing I really did appreciate, and the director said this, was that people were asking, why is there no climate change message or global warming message or whatever, and his message about that made me really want to support the film, where he said his job wasn't to push an agenda or a political narrative. His job was to make a movie that people can enjoy and kind of be an escape from real life. And I love that type of stuff, because I think that's really important, especially in the times we live in, to just have an escape, just to have fun at the movies without being jam-packed with stuff you may disagree with. And the film was great as a result. Like, it had some fun moments, some really well done performances. I was really enthralled with the storm chasing industry, and this is like a real thing. People do this. They risk their lives for this stuff. It's just crazy. But yeah, well done all around. At number 3, we have Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Again, this film is maybe recency bias, but I thought it was fantastic. I loved it so much, and I keep mentioning, like, I've been a huge fan of this series since the beginning when they fixed the design and all, and seeing how this franchise has been able to blossom and get bigger and better as they go along was great. My favorite character from the Sonic universe is easily Shadow, and seeing how well done and portrayed he was in this film. Of course, Keanu Reeves did an incredible job voicing him. Really, made me love the film a lot more. There were some great chase sequences, action set pieces that were really solid. Some much needed heart in the film that just made me warm and fuzzy inside. It was really sad at times, but also funny, and there was sweet moments. And it was I loved seeing success from stuff that you may not have thought could have the success. And I just love this universe, and this film was another great installment in it. Number 2 is The Wild Robot. Now, I adore this film. I think it's one of the best animated films that has come out in a long time. It had stellar animation, really great voice work, a sweet message, and of course the director Chris Sanders, who also made classics like How to Train Your Dragon and Lilo and Stitch. Like he does this thing where I don't know how to explain it, but he is just a really incredible talent in the animation industry, and it's based off this best-selling children's novel. So there could be more movies, I believe they announced, coming out. And I think overall it's a well put together film. Number one is Deadpool and Wolverine. This film was incredible, and not necessarily for like the plot and stuff, because there are some holes that you can nitpicks and all that you can find about it. But the main thing I loved about it was just seeing these two characters finally, after all these years, come together and have an adventure together, and it was great. And it also ties in really well to some of the shows, like the TVA is a big factor in here from Loki. There's some great sound choices, hilarious moments, especially with Deadpool and all, of course. The action's really great. Some shocking and surprising cameos that really uplifts the film and kind of gives it a nice love letter to the 20th Century Fox X-Men films. So this film pretty much had everything, and it's just so much fun to watch, so I just had to give it the top spot. Again, what'd you all think of my ranking list? Please let me know down below in the comment section. If you saw any of these movies, did you like or dislike any of them? Again, let me know down below. And if you want to hit the subscribe button and the bell as well to get notified of when I upload, that would mean so much to me. And be on the lookout for my top 10 entertainment moments of 2024 video, which should be out in the next day or so, hopefully. Again, I'll see you all later. Bye!